I'm Stephen Pimpo.
And this is Maryland Newslines.
Now, WUSA 9 Game On Sports, brought to you by Xfinity.
It may be Valentine's Day, but there was no love lost between 20th ranked Virginia Commonwealth and George Washington. Welcome to the Xfinity Center in College Park. And it's not Thursday, but here at Maryland, it's all about the throwback, giving kids a place to play soccer and showcase their skills. Do you believe in magic? These fans sure do.
So what are you guys going to be for Halloween?
I mean, I'm thinking of going as the ghost of Randy Edsall's career. You never know who could be behind this mask. And that's part of the fun. Testudo could be anyone. J.R. Smith looking to get rid of it, and John Wall says you shall not pass. He throws it down, and the Zards are up 8-0. There's a difference between watching a game here in the stands and here in the press box. Omar Infante. Going, gone. Royals win 7-2, even the series with the Game 3 set for Friday. And this DJ doesn't drop the bass. He drops the boom and busts their, from dusk till dawn. Shoot, yeah. These kids love soccer, but they're even more excited about something else.
The U.S. national team is coming.
Coaches for the team took the field with the kids as part of their community outreach program, She Believes. The She Believes movement has been all over the country, giving kids a place to play soccer and showcase their skills. But it's more than just showing the best way to kick a ball.
The She Believes campaign, it's all about belief in one another, and most importantly about self-belief and the power that self-belief has.
They can be anything that they want. They really can. I think that's the biggest thing.
Whether they want to be
Soccer player
or
an FBI detective.
The team especially wants to be an example for young girls.
We got your back. We're trying to do as much as we can to pave the way for all those little girls growing up.
It's the type of responsibility that comes with winning a World Cup.
I hope one day you guys can make goals, work hard, and achieve those goals to feel what we did.
It's a goal the team hopes will score with these kids. In Washington, Stephen Pimpo, CNS TV. Maryland fans packed the Xfinity Center on Saturday for the latest edition of Maryland Madness, the school's opening celebration for the men's and women's basketball teams.
Are you ready to have fun?
Terps of all ages showed up in full force to see their favorite players.
Diamond Stone and Melo Trimble.
And get a few autographs.
Got a ball signed, I got a shoe.
And this year's fans are extra excited.
I expect both of these teams to be in the Final Four. I already have my plane tickets for Houston.
It's also special for the players.
I think it was really great to have so much fan support. They're really loyal, and I think we have the greatest fans in the country.
This year's theme was magic, complete with an appearance from Maryland great Walt the Wizard Williams, an actual magician, and a magically themed dance number by both teams. Do you believe in magic? These fans sure do. And with Maryland basketball ranked in the top 3 by multiple sources, magic might just make believers out of many fans. And while this is business as usual for the Maryland women, the men's team now has to live up to some lofty expectations.
When I took the job on May 10th, a long time ago, this is what I envisioned for Maryland basketball.
For the team, the pressure to do well is a big incentive.
When they throw rankings at us, it just makes us work harder.
I think our motivation this year is more just behind kind of proving to people that we are as good as they say we are.
And confidence like that is why Terps fans think the hype is no illusion. In College Park, Stephen Pimpo, CNS TV. This scene is typical for a day in the life of a 21st century sports reporter.
Coach, the passing game the last couple of weeks, where do you see things still not clicking?
Quite a change from 1924. That's when the legendary Shirley Povich first put type to paper for the Washington Post. For the next 75 years, he would stand watch over some of the most defining moments in all of sports.
And wrote about the great athletes of the century, from Babe Ruth to Cal Ripken.
He could just take the magic word and just make them dance off the newspaper.
But it's a different world today.
There are myriad ways, obviously, in the way that things have changed, the relationship of the media to athletes, the relationship of fans to athletes, what we read, how we read it.
And what does your average sports reporter have to know?
You got guys on TV that are writing columns. I mean, guys that cover games, you have to do a blog. You got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got all these things.
All these new tools mean anyone can be a sports writer. But Povich believed you had to earn your stripes. Those like him still say there's a difference between watching a game here in the stands and here in the press box.
When I was at the Post and reporters were sent to cover events, they were sent there as journalists, not fans.
Now even that is changing. SB Nation, one of the top 10 largest sports websites in the world, says they cover sports using, quote, professional brains with the heart of a fan. Alex Kirshner, a Maryland student who writes for Testudo Times, SB Nation's Maryland blog, says this only adds to the writing.
You can provide information to people and say, you know what, we're Maryland people. This is our school, this is our community, and that kind of, in a way, makes us an authority.
And it's not going away.
Anything that's out there that promotes sports writing, sports talking, sports journalism, it's good. And the better stuff is going to be consumed and the worst stuff is going to fall by the wayside.
So, what might Shirley Povich think of the state of sports reporting today?
He was a firm believer that your number one job was the written word.
Always be aware of what you're writing.
We didn't see any white smoke coming from Xfinity Center this morning, but Maryland football has their man. And that man's name is Durkin. That's right, Michigan defensive coordinator DJ Durkin is set to become the 36th head coach in Maryland football history. And this DJ doesn't drop the bass, he drops the boom. Durkin led a defense for the 15th ranked Wolverines that finished 4th in the country in yards allowed and pitched 3 straight shutouts, including one against the Terps in Byrd Stadium. Durkin has coached under both Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer and served as Florida's interim head coach in 2014. It's unknown if former interim head coach Mike Loxley will remain with the team under Durkin. Now over to the basketball court. The number 2 ranked Maryland men were down in Chapel Hill last night taking on old ACC enemy and 9th ranked North Carolina. Over we go to the Smith Center. Heels guard Marcus Page making his debut after missing the first 6 games with an injured hand. And some thought he might be a little rusty. I guess not. Heels all over the Terps early, but Maryland fought back. Melo Trimble says, "I'll take that." Gets it to Robert Carter Jr., who finishes at the rim. Next possession, Trimble running the offense. Trimble to Rashid Suleiman. You know the Tar Heel fans don't like this guy, and that's why. Terps finally tie it up. Maryland takes the lead off a 4-point play from Trimble, but Marcus Page. UNC would hang on to win 89-81 as Maryland suffered its first loss of the year. Both teams now sit at 6-1, with Maryland set to host St. Francis this Friday before a showdown with UConn in Madison Square Garden on December 8th. The Terps weren't the only hometown team on the court last night, as the Washington Wizards made the trek up to Cleveland to take on LeBron James and his Cavaliers. Quicken Loans Arena, Wizards up early. J.R. Smith looking to get rid of it, and John Wall says you shall not pass. He throws it down, and the Zards are up 8-0. But you knew it wasn't going to stay that way with this man on the floor. James goes coast to coast and finishes in the paint to put it within 1. Hail to the king, baby. But here come the Wizards. Wall to the basket. Jared Dudley knocks down the 3. Dudley again to the basket. Cleveland trying to stay in it. Matthew Dellavedova hits it from deep. But John Wall says, "Hey, Delly, I can do that too." Wizards beat the Cavs 97-85 and moved to 7-8 on the year. Still trying to climb out of the basement in the Southeast Division. But while the Wizards are at the bottom, Another Washington team climbed to the top of its division this week. Jay Gruden and company lead the NFC East after a win Sunday over the New York Football Giants. Washington currently sits at 5-6 with the tiebreaker over New York, a 1-game lead over Philadelphia, and a 2-game lead over Dallas, who limps into a Monday night matchup with the Burgundy and Gold after losing quarterback Tony Romo to a season-ending injury. A potential playoff spot and a chance to beat your hated rival in prime time? Kirk Cousins couldn't be reached for comment, but we're pretty sure he'd like that.
My name is Jan Wojnowski. I'm 72 and I'm on a mission.
If you drive past the Vatican's U.S. Embassy, you'll see him. He stands alone, driven by his obsession, the sexual abuse of children by Catholic priests.
My life was ruined by a Catholic pedophile priest.
For the last 17 years, the Polish immigrant and retired steelworker has done the same thing every day. At 3:21 p.m., he takes a bus from his home in Bladensburg to the metro and rides to D.C.
It's a terrible crime. Many will never tell. Many commit suicide.
It takes another bus to get to the embassy, known as the Apostolic Nunciature. And that is where Pope Francis will spend his 2 nights in Washington. Child molestation has long been a stain on the Catholic Church, but Pope Francis has been applauded for creating what is called the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors. Wojnowski says words are easy.
It's much smarter than the previous one. Absolutely, head and shoulders about but still, he's a company man.
And while he does not know what security will be like when the Pope arrives, Wojnowski is determined to hold his ground.
I'm standing here regardless.
Through the years, Wojnowski says passersby have called him a loser, told him to get over it, get a life, made obscene gestures. He even had a priest spit in his face.
I've been standing here for 17 years. Standing? Yes, sir. Have you heard about Catholic priests sexually abusing children? Are you Catholic?
You bet I am. I'm proud to be one.
No matter the weather, Wojnowski stays until dark.
It's strange to me, but my life would have no meaning if I wouldn't do it.
Then he packs up and heads home, knowing he'll be right back out again the next day.
No reason for me to stop. Why I would stop? Would you stop?